So we are going to choose some cities that you guys are going to do some research on. So what I want you to do is I want everybody to pick one city that's unique to them. And then after that, you can pick any other two that you want. You can even pick something that one of the other people has picked to be unique. What this will do is it'll just make it so that we're all doing different cities. Otherwise, everybody does Berlin, Hamburg, and Zurich, and it gets really boring. So I want everybody to pick one city that is kind of unique to them. And then after that, you can pick any two that you want. Now, you don't know really anything about a lot of these cities, so I thought I'd give you a really quick sneak peek into what I know about these cities. So the first one there you'll see in Deutschland is Aachen, and that is a really old city, and it's got some old volcanoes, extinct volcanoes that are near it. We talked about the Bodensee last year. That's that lake that's at the floor of the Alps. So it's not a city, it's a lake. Bremen is one of the city-states, and it's pretty cool. That would be a good one to do, just a good big city. A little big city, I should say. It's big, but it's not as big as the other ones. Castles. You could do just generally castles in Germany if you want to find a couple and then do those. That would be totally fine. There's a whole bunch of them. Chiemsee is a lake that's in Bavaria, down by Munich, and it's an absolutely beautiful lake. In fact, there's a castle on an island in the middle of the lake. If you wanted to do that one, that would be kind of cool. Dresden, especially if you're in the World War II, there's the firebombing, of course. That's a really interesting city because it also lay dormant during the Cold War, and there just was not a lot of repair done to it after the firebombing. So that would be a good one to do. There's a really cool church that's there. Everybody likes to say the word Dusseldorf, so there you go. You can do Dusseldorf if you want. The Erzgebirge are really cool mountains, kind of like something you'd see in the Lord of the Rings. There are sandstone mountains over in the Dresden-Sachsen area, and that would be a good one to do. Frankfurt am Main is, of course, that's Frankfurt, and it's a modern-looking city. It's got skyscrapers, and it does have a lot of history to it and culture. The stock exchange in Germany is there, and that would be a good one to do. Freiburg is deep in the Black Forest, so if you're into the Black Forest, this is a really good one to do. I've been there, and so I can give you some tips. They have diverted the river. This is so weird. They have diverted the river so that it's like a foot wide and it goes through the entire city. Yeah, you heard me right. Go crazy. Of course, if you knew Lena, our exchange student from a couple years ago, she's from Göttingen, and so that place has a little special pitter-patter to my heart, although I haven't been there yet. It's my goal to go there at some point. Garmisch-Partenkirchen, that's one city. It's a sister city. They're two cities together. But these two are really cool. They're right at the base of the Alps at the Zugspitze, which is the tallest mountain in Germany. And they've had the Olympics there. It's just a beautiful village, great big huge gorge nearby. It is a really cool city for anything that is winter sports or mountainous, or it's a cool city. That would be a good one to do. I would probably pick one of those. I've been to it. I can help you a little bit. Hamburg. Well, that's a good one. It's a big port city. It's old. Of course, you know my Hamburg story from last year, and Anne talked about Hamburg when she was here earlier in the year, and that's just a really good city to do. The Harzgebirge. I think that's a typo. I think it's supposed to be the Erzgebirge. No, there's the Harzgebirge. That's a mountain range. It's not as big. You could do that one. They're kind of more like gently rolling hills. Heidelberg, that's a really old city with a really old castle that is just ruins right now, and it's a neat city. The castle's pink sandstone. and it's got the world's largest wine keg. You can find all about that. Helgoland, I like just saying Helgoland. It's kind of funny. It's this island in the North Sea, like kind of diagonal from Hamburg, and there's not much there other than sea lions. So if you like sea lions, go to Helgoland. Kassel. A lot of the exchange students come from the Kassel area. So if you are part of the exchange, which is on hold, but we'll figure that out later on, maybe you want to do Kassel. There's a great big statue of Hercules in the middle of it, and the Grimm brothers have some history there too. Cologne, or Cologne as it's called in English, has that great big cathedral that I didn't go into because of the currywurst, but it is a really cool city to go check out. The Königssee, this is on my list of places to go the next time I go to Germany. It's a great big lake at the base of the second largest mountain in Germany, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. It's really, really cool. Lübeck is way up north, and it's old Hanseatic city, and that would be a good one to do. My all-time favorite city of all time is München, and of course that's where the general area where Mark is from, and I've had a lot of time in Munich, and it's really cool. Nuremberg has a lot of history. Of course, you know, Nazi trials were there, and that's an interesting city. The Parknachklamm is a gorge right outside of Garmisch-Partenkirchen. It's probably too small to do just by itself, but you should still go check it out. It's pretty cool. Potsdam is right outside of Berlin, and there's like, for as small a town as it is, there's like 20 castles. It's really cool. The Rhine, it's the river. There's a whole bunch of things to do with the Rhine. I know I went on a tour down the Rhine. It was a 30-minute tour, and it was like, as we were going, there was every mile there was another castle in ruins, and it was just really cool. Of course, you got the Lorelei and some other things. That's a good one to do. Rotenburg ob der Tauber has still standing its wall, and that's really, really cool. It's a really neat medieval city. It also has a really good Christmas store and a great torture museum, so you should check it out. That's a really cool city to do. Rügen there these chalk cliffs that are right up on the Baltic Sea, and they are really, really cool. So it's kind of a natural place to go to. Of course, you got the Schwarzwald, the Black Forest, and that's just awesome. Cuckoo clocks and the cakes, and of course there's hiking and all kinds of crazy stuff there. Stuttgart is I call it the Detroit of Germany, not because of the crime, but because of the car manufacturing that goes on there. Zilt, so you wouldn't think anything of Zilt until you hear that that's the city that's where those islands way up in Schleswig-Holstein are that have the mud flats that you can walk to. Zilt is a really neat location to check out. Trier is the oldest city, I think, on this list, and it has Roman ruins in it. It's pretty cool. The Watzmann and the Zugspitze are two different mountains in Germany. They are the two largest. The Zugspitze is the tallest. The Watzmann's got some cool history to it, and of course it's right on the Austrian border, so it's over there by Salzburg. You could do tours down the Rhine and the Donau. Those would be cool. So you need to do one city we have to do 3 cities, and one of them has to be in a country that the others aren't. So you can do Austria or Switzerland for any of those also. So in Austria, we've got Salzburg. I think I've talked about Salzburg before with an awesome castle on the top. That's a really good one to do. I just think it's an awesome city. Vienna is, of course, the capital, and there's all kinds of art and music that was written and made there. Innsbruck, they had the Winter Olympics there a couple times. It's a big skiing town. It'd be really cool. And then the Salzkammergut, I'm going to move this over just a little bit so you can see it. The Salzkammergut is the mountains that are around Salzburg, and they are cool. There's a really neat ice cave. Usually caves are 50 degrees on the inside. This one wasn't. It's frozen, and it's really cool. And there's a whole bunch of stuff that's just around that area that I've been to Salzkammergut a couple times, and I've enjoyed it every time. Coming down here to Switzerland, The Eiger, Jungfrau, and Monk are mountains. Eiger means ogre, Jungfrau maiden, and Monk is monk. And so it's these three huge mountains. And the story is that there's an ogre that's going to eat a young lady, and then there's a monk that's going to stop him. Bern is the capital of Switzerland, and Basel. We just seem to have a lot of exchange students that come from Basel, so that's why it's on the list. Lucerne is a beautiful city to check out. And Vaduz is the capital of Liechtenstein. Zermatt, if you're interested in the Matterhorn and the city that's near there, Zermatt is almost in Italy. It's that far south. That would be a good one to do. Of course, we've got the Matterhorn, which is the mountain we talked about. It looks kind of like the one from the Grinch, and it's the largest horn in the world, and it's just a really cool mountain. And then Zurich. Zurich is the cleanest city I've ever been to. It is just absolutely gorgeous. And that when you hear of like Swiss bank accounts and stuff like that, and all of the glitz and glamour of Switzerland, well, that's in Zurich. So there you go. Those are your some suggestions. And of course, if there are cities that you wanted to do that aren't on this list, you probably can do them. You just need to ask. You need to have 3 cities, and you need to be in 2 different countries. Please pick one and tell me which one you would like to do.